Some people are confused or have a misconception of what music therapy is. They see and hear a client and therapist playing musical instruments in a noisy manner, or believe the music is played to entertain the client. However, both of these are misleading as to what is really going on. So what is music therapy? What does it do?
In short, music therapy is an applied science. It is the knowledge and process of using sounds and silence to analyse and treat a client to bring about positive change in social, emotional, physical and psychological behaviour. Music therapy is a clinical process administered by highly trained professionals who are state registered by the Health Professions Council as art psychotherapists. They require a degree in music followed by a postgraduate qualification in music therapy at master's level. All music therapists are trained to work with care and responsibility to treat skillfully clients of all ages through music. This unique intervention is a powerful tool and a proven process making a difference to people's lives, opening an avenue to communicate where others fail.
So, how does music therapy work?
Playing instruments eliminates the barriers caused by speaking. It allows the client to show all aspects of their mind and emotions that cannot be disguised. The music therapist brings a new perspective of empowerment, enabling the therapist to establish a trusting and working relationship, to unlock a client's mind and emotions by using observation and analysis, to engage with the client to bring about a response, to make improved changes and enhance the client's well-being. The use of music therapy in children's development is particularly interesting for those who are suffering from a wide range of psychological and learning disorders. Many paediatricians acknowledge the use of music can be invaluable to children, particularly in encouraging communication skills. Music therapy has an effect on personal relationship improvement, emphasising positive benefits of active listening, concentrating and performing. This in turn sets the context for developmental changes.
Here are 2 examples of local cases.
Dean was referred for music therapy because of disaffection at school, which was becoming unmanageable. He was easily distracted in the classroom, was often absent from lessons and had difficult relationships with peers and staff. Dean came to music therapy because he wanted to get out of another lesson, and initially he saw this as a means of escape from the school timetable. When his behaviour escalated out of control, Dean was excluded from school for 4 days out of 5. His music therapy was able to continue on the remaining 1 day at school. Dean has a lot of energy, and in the sessions he was able to channel this energy through playing the drums and cymbals. Initially his sounds were very chaotic, there was little cohesion, and he wasn't really listening to what he was doing. I found Dean was a friendly and likeable lad who told me he wanted to leave school as soon as possible. He found school very difficult. As we worked together on the drums and cymbal, Dean began to listen to what he was doing, and gradually he tried to make up rhythms and organise his sounds creatively. This new attitude became a turning point in the therapy process. There were some difficult moments during our time together, characterised by Dean's rebellious nature, but he still attended music therapy sessions regularly. Sometimes he began to tell me more about himself as an option to play in music, and this cooperation helped me to sustain the relationship with him. Playing guitars brought a softer, more intimate atmosphere into the room, and for the first time Dean exercised self-control when he wanted to play properly rather than just strumming the guitars. Dean's concentration improved and he became more motivated to try other instruments, especially the keyboard. As I watched him playing to himself, I could hear how he was beginning to show more control over the direction of the music by making effective and creative decisions. I hoped that positive decision-making would be transferred into Dean's everyday life. At school, teachers were pleased with improved behaviour, and Dean gradually earned his full 5 days back at school. During the course of therapy, Dean acknowledged some misdemeanours which were investigated with the Youth Offenders Programme. The music therapist worked alongside this team to ensure the best outcome for Dean, and she also liaised with his parents who themselves needed support and caring for this difficult teenager. Over a longer time period, the process of Dean's therapy began to influence his whole outlook. His school life improved as his self-esteem increased through listening to himself playing music. His attendance improved, he was less disruptive in the classroom, and he had better quality relationships. The guidance of a therapist helped him to understand his own needs better. She was there even over the difficult times, whilst sharing and cooperation in spontaneous music making helped Dean to understand a very different way of being.
We receive a number of referrals for distressing conditions such as bullying or following disclosures of abuse, or when people have been diagnosed with life-limiting illnesses. And all these we categorise under crisis intervention work. I'd like to tell you now about Michelle, whose family experienced trauma after her sister was killed in a car accident. Michelle found it difficult to cope. She became listless and withdrawn at school, where there were concerns about her increased isolation. She even lost interest in her favourite subject, which was sports. So a referral was made for music therapy. At the start of sessions, Michelle attended reluctantly and was not sure what to expect and couldn't see the point of attending. Over a few weeks, Michelle gradually got involved in playing instruments, and the therapist accompanied or played alongside her, matching and acknowledging her sounds and shaping them into a musical context. With the relaxed pace to sessions, a variety of music was explored, and as trust developed between the therapist and Michelle, music became more flowing. Through spontaneous music making, Michelle and the therapist were able to improvise music which had beginnings, endings and tension points within it. As they played together, they communicated with each other musically as if in a conversation. After about 3 months, Michelle asked if she could play the violin. The therapist replied that she could bring one, but she admitted that she was reluctant to provide a violin, as it's a difficult instrument to play. The therapist said she felt confused and couldn't see the point of bringing this instrument. To the therapist's astonishment, as Michelle started to play the violin, there seemed to be an energy in the room which had not been present before. As they worked together, Michelle divulged that her absent sister used to play the violin. This whole episode became a turning point for Michelle, who was now able to access her feelings and her need to grieve. Michelle had found this process difficult, as all her sister's belongings had been stored in the loft at home, including her sister's violin. In the remaining sessions, the music making became much more expressive of Michelle's inner feelings. The therapist was able to speak to Michelle, having played with her, and discuss her issues of loss, as well as thinking about her new role in the family and her future.
Some clients make small developments, where others accomplish much larger changes. In addition, music therapy can be used to help many illnesses, disabilities, and trauma such as post-traumatic stress, anger management, palliative care, dementia, and mental health issues.
Music therapists have the ability and understanding to integrate information generated in a session and use clinically improvised music for the benefit of the client to bring about positive changes in their life. It makes a difference, reaching deep into humans' feeling and memory, establishing trust, removing isolation, addressing difficulties, and at the same time nurturing creativity, expression, and developing change. It can maximise a client's potential, whatever their life situation. It works.
Music therapy works.
It works. It works. It works.